Somaliland declared its independence from Somalia in 1991, but was never able to gain any recognition from UN member states, much less Mogadishu, which still claims sovereignty over the region. Ethiopia made a move in that direction 2 years ago, but quickly pulled back once tensions with a furious Somalia became too heated. So, the declaration of Israel's prime minister is indeed historic. Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel intended to immediately expand cooperation in the breakaway region in areas such as agriculture, health and technology. However, his counterpart in Mogadishu, Hamza Abdi Bare, said his government rejected what he called a deliberate attack on Somalia's sovereignty. Other countries in the wider region have backed Bare's position. Turkey, a key military and economic ally of Somalia, also condemned the move, calling it an expansionist policy that undermines regional peace. Egypt said its top diplomat had spoken with counterparts from Turkey, Somalia and Djibouti, who together condemned the move and emphasized full support for the unity, sovereignty and territorial integrity of Somalia. Somalia's foreign ministry welcomed the coordinated stance, saying it reflected a broad regional consensus against what he described as a breach of Somalia's sovereignty. Perhaps the most significant blow came from the African Union Commission. Chairperson Mahmoud Ali Yusuf stated that the AU family rejects any unilateral recognition of breakaway regions. Citing the 1964 Cairo resolution on the sanctity of colonial borders, the AU warns that Israel's move sets a dangerous precedent that could empower other violent separatist movements from the Sahel to the Congo. Even as Israel prepares to exchange ambassadors with Somaliland, the geopolitical cost is mounting. For every celebratory banner raised in Argisa, a new diplomatic barrier is being erected by the neighbors who surround it. Daniel Arab Moy, CGTN.
Well, let's broaden this conversation and bring in Dr. Hassan Khannenje, Director, Horn International Institute for Strategic Studies based here in Nairobi. Dr. Khannenje, thank you for joining us. Now, we've seen countries and regional blocs of reactions against Israel's move. What are your thoughts on the reactions?
I think it's significant. It is a significant step that, of course, bolsters Somaliland's quest for independence. But it also the kind of decision that has been unilateral and runs the risk of changing and threatening the security architecture that not just in the Horn of Africa, but across the continent. There is an unwritten consensus, especially within the African context, of not interfering with colonial borders, or at least the independence borders that were founded in the 60s.
Let's cross over now to CGTN's Mohammed Kahir. He's in Mogadishu for us with more reaction on this development. Mohammed, so what has been the reaction from Mogadishu?
Well, Beatrice, a strong reaction from the federal government of Somalia regarding this issue of the recognition of its northern region of Somaliland as independent sovereign state by the State of Israel on Friday. An emergency cabinet meeting on Friday convened by the Prime Minister after almost an hour of closed doors has issued a press statement through the Minister of Information saying that this decision by State of Israel is null and void, and it takes it as an issue that needs to be resolved within the Somalia's government, and calling upon the people of Somaliland and their leaders that it's only the federal government of Somalia through discussions and dialogue that issues to do with recognition or being part of the federal government of Somalia can be discussed. And of course, not only the federal government of Somalia, but across the political divide, whether the opposition groups or the officials in the government, and especially members of parliament from that region in question, which is Somaliland, have come out today in the parliament, whereby they have denounced this decision and called for, dialogue to resolve these kind of issues. But the Somali government has an official statement by the Minister of Information has been very, very categorical, denying or rejecting this what it calls interference. It is internal matters. And of course, the regional bodies like IGAD, the African Union, the Arab League, and also the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, all where the Somalia is member, and also countries that are very close to Somalia, including the Turkey, the Qatari, and also countries like Egypt, have all denounced this move and urged Israel to reconsider its decision of recognizing the northern region of Somaliland as independent and sovereign states.
So, Mohammed, what else are you expecting from the Mogadishu-based government?
Well, apart from the official statement we had from the government and also the parliament, which had a sitting today, we are getting reports and hearing that the president has invited and convened former state leaders, head of states, including the presidents and former presidents and prime ministers, in the State House today concerning a joint, a joint issue on this. And the discussions are still ongoing. And we are expecting in the next coming hour or minutes a joint, answer or declaration regarding this issue of recognition of the northern region of Somaliland by the state of Israel. And of course, condemnation, of course, are also coming out from various international organizations, I've said, but also the citizens themselves here in Somalia, especially here in Mogadishu, have also raised their concerns, and also as citizens in the northern region of Somaliland, especially in the strategic region of Odal, have also raised their concerns and said that, of course, yeah, they want recognition, but a recognition coming from the state of Israel, as they put it, and I quote, including as we know, ongoing war and with in Palestine is not what they expected from the leadership of the so-called Somaliland region.